And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. There's a long list of laws that went into effect this month here in the state of Texas, and one we get emails about all the damn time: child support. But that's not all you need to know about. Joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, family law attorney, board certified Charlotte Rainwater. Glad to have you on The Factor Uncensored.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. Now, a lot of people are always concerned about child support. There have been some rule changes here in the state of Texas for those who may have to pay it or receive it. What are some of the new rules in place that they need to know about as we begin this new month of September?
Certainly. So coming into effect, or came into effect, September 1st of 2025, it's one of the largest increases in child support that Texas has seen in recent years. They have basically moved the guidelines up, which is the amount that is looked to for the child support cap to be applied to. And basically, if you're making $140,000 or more per year, then your child support is likely to increase fairly significantly. For one child, it would increase from what was previously $1,840 a month up to $2,340 per month.
Now, if you don't know if you're in the number of individuals who may see an increase, how do you find that out? Who do you go to, Charlotte, to get that answer if I need to increase my payments before I get into trouble?
Sure. So the Office of the Attorney General is typically, they work for both obligors as well as obligees, which means the people paying the child support as well as the people receiving the child support. And they should be able to tell you based upon certain things like when was the last time your child support was modified, as well as how much are your current net resources or your current net pay. They should be able to estimate for you whether or not you would be either due for an increase or potentially, if something has happened, also due for a decrease.
Got it. Now, there are some issues that we saw from the legislature involving the LGBTQ community. What's important? What's number one on your mind you think the public needs to know about tonight?
Yes. So in terms of the changes that they made that relate to particularly transgender affirmative care for children, they have carved out an exception and basically said that it is not defined as abuse for a caregiver of a child to not recognize that child's request for their pronoun preferences, to not refer to that child by a name that they may have changed, and to it is not abusive for those people to not basically affirm or recognize that child's choice of their identity.
So if a mother or father or parents go to, say, a teacher or another caregiver who's not the parent that may be taking care of the child or in attendance of the child, and they say, look, I want you to call my child this because this is how my child identifies and this is what my child recognizes, that person doesn't have to follow that now under this law.
Correct.
So what are parents left to do in a situation like that?
I'm not sure that there's much that they can do. I suppose they could take some type of civil action, but the family code is not going to consider it any type of abuse.
Wow. So what else is on the list when it comes to the LGBTQ community? And of course, we want to get to the marriage council a little bit later.
Sure.
But what else is on that list that people need to know about?
You know, and this is not something current, but I think that people do need to know this, is that there was in 2023, Texas basically banned gender affirming care. And that is something that our state Supreme Court has upheld. And so that is the law of the land right now in Texas.
So that is out.
That is
a parent would have to essentially leave the state of Texas if they wanted that for.
That's the way it looks right now.
No other options.
That is the way it looks right now.
Also on the list, controversial therapies. Tell us about that.
Yes, and so it was really an extreme form of therapy, which is commonly referred to as reunification therapy, but the form that was being used that the new laws are designed to curtail was an intensive form of it where children were being either removed from the presence of a parent that had participated in what we commonly refer to as parental alienation, which is where one parent attempts to brainwash the child against the other parent. And So there were some courts that were electing to place these children into programs where they were being deprogrammed by therapists. And so they were being kept from the parent that had participated in the alienation in order to be reunited with the parent that they were estranged from. And
we're going to take a quick break, Charlotte. We'll come back and wrap up with you in just a second. Make sure you stay with us here on the Factor Uncensored.